Like,
Cool. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Rum Shot Diaries third test day one review. I'm joined by Nikhil Kartikeya. Nikhil, how are you doing today?
wait, Masha made an appearance.
Oh, wow.
I'm great. I'm Santoki. Great to see you, Mash. You don't look too happy. I don't know why. I haven't heard you all day. No usual WhatsApp group chat messages. Nothing. It's been a pretty flat day from the West Indies point of view, and obviously our point of view as well. What's going on, guys? It's been a pretty flat day from the West Indies point of view,
Why is Nikhil echoing?
No, sorry. I was getting the link on my phone.
No, you know what, Nikhil? You summed it up perfectly. You summed it up perfectly. But just for whatever reason, I wasn't feeling it today. I don't know why, but we let things go in that final session. We ideally needed to end the day minimum 6 down. What do you reckon?
I mean, the frustration from the collapse of the last test kind of spilled over here. So if we take it from the top, guys, if we talk about the team selection, only one change. Cornwall came in for Joseph, which was the most likely. However, there was a building sense that Shai Hope or John Campbell or both would get dropped. Were you guys surprised in the end that the coaching team decided to stick with Hope and Campbell?
Yes and no. Campbell, I knew would play. I was shocked to see the amount of people saying Campbell should be dropped, simply because I think if you give an opener the whole series, you don't drop him after two matches. Not in England. Give him the whole series, and then if it's a flop, is a flop. So Campbell, I expected to play. I genuinely thought that West Indies might succumb to all the pressure that was coming from every single quarter that Hope needed to be dropped. And I'm not shocked that he played, because after Jason spoke, I think Jason was basically telling everyone, no, he's going to play. So, so that's why I wasn't shocked. But what I would say to both John and Shai Hope is that if they do bat, let's say rain doesn't actually come and play a role. If they do bat and they fail again, they only have themselves to blame, because they've been given every single piece of confidence they need from the selecting committee to say, listen, we've got faith in you, please go and produce.
Exactly. Nikhil, what were your thoughts on the selection?
Yeah, basically, I have to agree with Mash there. I wasn't too surprised. Wait, just give me 1 minute, guys. Sorry about that. Right, I wasn't too surprised about seeing Hope's inclusion, because I saw what Jason said in the press conference yesterday about he's backing him, etc. So, and I think, they may not want to drop a guy and bring in somebody new for just one test match. But overall, I think, overall, I would probably say I was kind of really disappointed with the performance today. And one thing I will say, guys, is that I think you look at someone like Shannon Gabriel. Yes, and I think if Alzari Joseph is fit and he's just dropped on performance, I think he should have played instead of Shannon. Simple as. Because Shannon, the thing about this is that, yes, Shannon Gabriel wants to play Test cricket, etc. But I think this is where the role of a Phil Simmons comes in, where you need to step in and say, listen, the team is bigger than, one. There's no IN team. And yes, we really want Shannon in the squad, but we already could tell in the second test he wasn't himself. And as Masha said, in the last test, you could tell when the body language, and to me, it just wasn't there. It's not been there for a long time, and they actually said today on the stream that he's bowled every day of the series. And when you come out from a 7-month injury like that, I just don't see how it's logical. And I think non-rotation is the reason we look so flat today. After the pitch didn't really do much, I'm sure we have to get into that toss decision. At 122 for 4, I'm there thinking, wow, game on, because England are playing with one batsman less. But I found they didn't bowl enough attacking deliveries to Pope and Butler, and just allowed them to get in. And I kind of expected a bit more from Cornwall. I'm not going to lie. He didn't bowl too bad, but I expected a bit more.
Yeah, I think from my perspective, as Nikhil said, 122 for 4, it's looking good. Stokes was out, Root had been run out, Sibley had gone for a duck. So you're thinking, okay, we can get them out for under 250 here. But Butler and Pope, I mean, Butler, both of them out of form pretty much. Salvaged England's innings there. And like Nikhil was saying, it did go flat, especially as they were waiting for the new ball to come. It was like, 8-9 overs with Chase and Cornwall spinning. And Butler, just smashing it all over the place. Pope Pope played a really fluid innings, and you just felt a dejection coming out of the West Indies at that point. When they did take the new ball, I know they only had 6 overs with it, but Ian Bishop was saying he hopes that they can get 1 or 2 wickets. It didn't look like they were going to get anything with the new ball yesterday evening. So hopefully in the morning they have a good start again and Roach comes out, gets an early wicket, because at this point, from my perspective, if England get anywhere close to 350, then even over 300, West Indies can't win the test. It's a job to try and save it, I guess, try and get a draw.
And let me just say, I'm really begging for the rain to come tomorrow. Honestly, I'm really begging for it, because
for you to say that, Nikhil, you must really be begging.
What I saw today is like not convinced they can penetrate through. I think even if they get 1 wicket, I think Best will come out and score runs or walks. They just bat deep, short ball, Kabat, and I just want the rain because I want to go home with the Wisdom Trophy. But honestly, these guys look really tired. I mean, even Jason Holder, he's probably one of the fittest guys. He looks really tired himself, and he's bowled a lot in this series. So, yeah, I would have really liked to see, as we said before, a Shamar Holder come in for one of these bowlers, or Azari Play, him being the younger one. But obviously, that's hindsight now. It's gone.
The thing is, though, bearing in mind the rain's common knowledge, if England get over 300 and Butler is still there, he'll be given a license to accelerate. So you'll start seeing swinging from him, Wokes, Bess, Broad even will just come out firing, because they won't want to have a situation where they're relying on the rain, basically. So you can imagine tomorrow is a critical day for the West Indies.
Yeah, I think England's aim is simple. Score, about 450?
Yeah, about once.
And then bowl us out twice. Now, with the rain coming and going, you should assume that the test match is a draw because of the rain. However, if because of the rain you can get a total of 3 days play, like across the piece, in and out, England would fancy themselves to bowl us out twice. With the fact that they've got about 17 bowlers in the side, they would fancy themselves to bowl us out.
And they're all fresh.
So this test, even with the fact that rain is forecast, is by no means over. Let's talk about the toss. I think we were going to bowl first, regardless. And the reason why is because we are afraid of our batting. If I saw the opposition had Anderson, Broad, Archer, Wokes, I know Stokes is injured, and Bess, I wouldn't want to bat either. Not on that first day.
But you're going to have to bat at some point, though.
I know we have to at some point, but knowing that our top order is brittle, I wouldn't want to bat either. That doesn't mean I agree with the decision. It just means I understand the decision, is basically what I'm saying. But as Nikhil correctly points out, we're going to have to bat at some point, and that bowling lineup's still going to be there. so we can't run away from it. So I really don't know.
Let me just comment on it quick. I think what Mike Holding said was spot on. And obviously hindsight is a beautiful thing. We're all looking back on it now. If the West Indies had bowled England out for 150, we would all be saying, oh, it was a great decision, etc. But I think, Masha, you're right, spot on. I think we are afraid of batting first, regardless of which attack. I think we know our frailties with our top order, and it's something that I think we need to get over if we're going to compete against big test sides, because I think our bowlers would have really used an extra day of rest today. I just think so. And, and come tomorrow bowling fresh. But it's if the batters would even be able to bat the entire day against that type of bowling lineup. So I think it's a hurdle that we need to get over in terms of that fright and fear of, not being able to bat first. But listen, the pitch is not like the one in the second test. I can tell you that. This one is flat. There isn't much for the bowlers. And this comment here, Holder's not his best with his ball. I think it's because the ball did a lot in the first test at the Rose Bowl. It hasn't been doing as much at Old Trafford. And obviously, Jason is not somebody that has a lot of pace. So he relies on movement. So I wouldn't say he's not at his best. I just think probably conditions don't favor him as much.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
All right, we have a lot of comments, so let's get right into it.
So you don't know Nikhil Kartikeya now supports England.
Yeah. And that was in India.
He switched between.
Yeah, I'm not sure what happened now.
He switched. How disappointed were you? Well, we kind of touched on this, but is there really much more we can say? Okay, do you know? I'm going to throw this to you two. I'm going to throw you this this little point here, and I want to see what you two think. This doesn't necessarily mean that Hope should have been dropped for it, but this does mean, and it links again to what Nikhil was saying about Michael Holding. So Michael Holding made that point about West Indies should have batted first. And then he made the point when Gabriel went off injured, he was like, why would you bring in a spinner for a fast bowler? Here is the problem West Indies have, and they now need to make a decision after this test series going forward.
Yeah.
All the while, Shane Dowrich bats at 7 and Jason Holder bats at 8. It unbalances our bowling attack. Because either you're always going to be one spinner short because Roston Chase is a competent all-rounder, but he's not a frontline spinner, or you're going to be a fast bowler short if you choose to play Rakeem Cornwall. The only way that issue ever gets resolved is if Dowrich goes into the top 6 or Holder goes into the top 6. I know why the team doesn't want to do it, but the only way to balance the bowling attack properly to allow you to play a frontline spinner and 3 fast bowlers is Jason. I personally think that Jason should be told by the management, focus on your batting for a while. And be to the West Indies what Ben Stokes is to England. Someone who can take wickets, but we don't expect you to be a frontline bowler. Just come in and take a little twofer or a threefer. Jason is a competent batsman. He should be told to focus on his batting, and that would balance our team out better. Or we tell Dowrich to focus on his batting and tell him you are going to be a top 6 batsman from now on. One of those two has to bat in the top 6.
Fair enough. I think one has to give away, but Mash, I think now with the fact that Jason Holder is number 2 in the test rankings, I don't think that's happening. I think he's probably going to push his bowling as far as it can go. But I agree, we definitely need a bench. So just today I was sitting down watching this game, I was saying we need someone that can really bat, but still provide someone with the ball so that when you only play 3 out and out seamers, you still have someone that comes in with the ball. Because today, when all the bowlers got tired, we had no one to go to. It was just Cornwall going up there, bowling. And that's why I thought Alzari should have played, because I think Alzari bowled the least out of all the bowlers, and he's the youngest. So I know he's coming off injury as well, but I just think he should have played. But I'm just kind of disappointed, man, honestly. Santo, what do you think?
Yeah. I mean, I wasn't surprised that Hope was in the team because we kind of suggested he'd be given the whole series. But, I just feel like I would have, rather than move everyone up, I agree with what Mash said, because if you think today Holder bowled about, 20 overs? So that's obviously going to have an effect on his batting eventually later on in the match. And obviously his potential is as a batsman. He primarily should be a batsman and given that control to bat first. But I just would have liked to have seen a batsman, Bonner, come in for Hope, just to add some freshness in, because West Indies at the moment look tired. They look like a tired team. They look like a beaten team, even with the early start today.
And even the batsmen look tired too. In the field, they're spilling a lot of misfields, as somebody said earlier, sloppy. Guys, one thing I'm thinking about now this is just obviously throwing it out there. Kyle Mears, he's in the team. He can bat 5. And he can bowl medium pace, a pretty decent touch in the right ball cricket. So I obviously he's early in his test career and he's only in the reserves, but I'm just saying one for the future, but a lot of competition in the top order. And I think, and one thing I'll say is that because we have so much top order batting now, and it's not even that the guys are firing, because we still call upon them. We have Kyle Mears and all these guys in the reserves, Darren Bravo, Sharma at home. I think the criteria needs to tighten now. We've got a lot of options. You need to be performing consistently, averaging over 30, etc., to keep your place. We have too many players to be just sticking with the same 5 all over and over and over again, which is why I think Hope should have missed out today, but I guess they didn't see that way. Chase is generally getting better as a bowler, or England playing him badly. I think we've touched on this, but I think he's genuinely getting better and changing the perception of being a batsman that can bowl.
Yeah, I agree.
Surprised it wasn't Cornwall for Gabriel.
Oh, Nikhil's frozen.
Well, we'll continue then.
Yeah, right.
Oh, you're back. You're back.
Sorry about that, guys. Holder set the poorly. I think he means the field poorly. Too much easy singles. I think when Pope and Butler came in, he got defensive, but rightfully so. I mean, the guys were scoring really fast. Pope is class, though.
Yes.
I like him a lot. He's a good young player. Roach proved why he's so good.
Yeah, Kimara's come back. Well after that first test, like we thought he would do. He was never going to go wicketless. It's too good a bowler to not be making inroads. And look for him tomorrow with the new ball to make another inroad.
And he's he's 2 away from 200 or something at the moment. He's 198.
Is it 1?
2?
I think it's 1 away.
1. Okay, cool. So hopefully you'll get that.
that was some delivery to Ben Stokes, though. I have to give him his credit. I mean, that ball tailing back in, wow, that was. I don't think many batsmen in the world could have played that. Well, even though Ben Stokes did have that gap between bat and pad, Ronaldo is saying the pitch looks like hard work for the bowlers after the ball gets a bit old. Yeah, as I said before, you can tell me what you guys think. I didn't see much out the surface at all today. I was kind of disappointed.
And that's so I think England will benefit. Obviously, Broad and Anderson with their new ball spell will get him moving, but then it'll wear off. But then what England have as their trump card is Archer bowls express pace. And when there's nothing going on the pitch, if you have a bowler who bowls express pace, you can make something happen.
We saw it in the first time.
Yeah. So
and I just want to emphasize, I think the West Indies missed a big chance today. When I woke up and saw the team that England played, I said, listen, if you get 4 or 5 wickets for 150 runs, you're in this game. And we had them 122 for 4. It was just for us to take 1 or 2 more wickets, and I think they would have been 200 all out. But they let a partnership build, and yeah, Mr. Best, thanks for joining us. I was surprised that Hope was given a break. You see, he's not Barbados biased, especially after...
Even the Bajans have given up on Hope.
Nikhil's gone. That's what he gets the same Barbados bias, you know. You back?
I don't know why he keeps dropping out. Sorry about that. But I was just gonna say, Masha, I'm sure you want to speak on this since you believe Chanapal should be in the test side.
Do you know what? I always forget that it was Simmons who actually said that he thought Chanderpaul should go. I'm gonna, if I ever get to speak to Coach Phil, I'm gonna say to him, do you regret that? Do you genuinely think that it was Shiv's time to go when we let Shiv go? But yeah, no, I see Mr. Best obviously saying that Hope deserves a break. We'll see. Let's hope. Do you know what? I genuinely hope for Shay that he gets a score. Boy, Nikhil just ducking in and out today. we can't even click on the next YouTube thing because Nikhil's disappeared.
The host. So anyone listening, me and Michelle are terrible at technology. So Nikhil was the one who brings up the comments and the host.
Yeah,
but we can. Oh, all right.
I don't understand what is going on. Sorry about that, guys. The connection is bad. But
can I actually, Nikhil, whilst you're here, I want to just raise this point lest you go again. So this week on Mason and Guest, Johnny Grave, I think, was being interviewed. I haven't actually listened to the full interview yet. I've just read certain experts from it, and he basically said on the radio show that one of the reasons why they wouldn't be calling anybody from the reserve squad into the 15 is because there's a financial implication to be doing that. So I know, yeah, your face says it all, Nikhil. So I'm just throwing that out there for anyone who's listening as well. I'm going to do a bit more reading around that and go find out a bit more information. My gut tells me that there are contracts for the first 15 who have travelled, and the reserve players have a different type of contract. And what that would tell me is that Cricket West Indies finances are so poor that they don't even want to risk paying whatever extra they would have to pay for a reserve player to be classed as a first team player. Does that make sense?
I think the only implication I could think about was, the fact that you pay a match fee, but still, I can't see why that would deter someone from the Cricket West Indies from playing a reserve if it's needed. I just don't understand that.
Yeah, so I'm putting it out there. We'll discuss this some more on future rum shots, but I just wanted to make people aware that this was said this week. Joseph should not have been dropped. But he was. If Cornwall was going to come in, Joseph was the only person who was going to get dropped.
Yeah.
Why not Shannon Gabriel?
Just because I knew that if Shannon said he was fit, because the minute I heard Phil say Shannon's fit, I thought, well, no, they're not going to drop him.
It was Roddy yesterday, actually, I think.
Roddy yesterday, sorry. Yeah. The minute Roddy said it, I was like, right, that means Shannon's playing no matter what.
Well, we discussed this already. Yeah, why is bowling first with 2 spinners defies logic. I heard Ian Bishop or was it Michael Holding say this today. I'm not sure if I agree with this, because why can you not bowl out a team? And I think based on the perception of what happened in the second test, you remember on day 1, Ross and Chase got a lot out of the surface. Yeah, so why can you not bowl out a team with 2 spinners? I don't know why people are saying this. But I understand. But the only way I could see it coming from is that you want to bowl on the last day surface. You want to bowl last. So therefore, you bat first. That could be the only reason. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I think there's some kind of maxims in cricket where people just say, "Well, you have spinners, you must bowl last." No, Cornwall. I'm with you, Nikhil. Bit disappointing today, but it's day one. It is day one, so I still understand why Jason chose to bowl first. Not saying I agree, but I understand.
Yeah, day one, and as well, it reminds me of when Narayan came in for the third test a few years ago, and he kind of got parachuted in first test in England. It was a third test, and he struggled. But people had so much expectations; they were disappointed in that. So I kind of felt Cornwall was kind of along the same lines as that.
Yeah.
Negative from Holder. Won't win many tests if we never bat first. West Indies are the only team that haven't battered first at Old Trafford. So and they say, just quickly, they say Old Trafford is a bat first and win wicket. But go ahead.
But also, Holder's working with stats here. When West Indies win, they tend not to be batting first. So he's gone with what he believes the strength of the team is, which is that we bowl better than we bat. So I genuinely think that's what it's down to. Rightly or wrongly, we're not in a position yet where we consistently win so that we can just say things like, yeah, we're going to bat first. So, yes, it may be slightly defensive. I wouldn't call it negative, possibly defensive.
Having two spinners in the 11 only to win the toss and bowl seems a bit weird, but we just talked about this. What has happened to the West Indies bowling since the first test? Fatigue. That's what I think.
We haven't got the depth to rotate as England.
Simple as.
Yeah, and I think, again, people need to remember, this is why sometimes Test cricket upsets me, because people sometimes look at Test cricket like it's two equals playing. The reality is, England are ranked, third in the world, maybe fourth, I don't know. The gap between their resources and our resources is massive. It's massive. And I think sometimes people need to accept, the fact it's 1-1 is actually a miracle. If we're being honest about it.
It's not a miracle, but it's a very good achievement.
Okay, it's let's not say miracle. It's they are performing out of their skin for it to be 1-1. If you look at our batting lineup, we have no one who averages over 40. We don't have anyone who averages over 35. If you look at our bowling lineup, we have 3 very good bowlers, but we don't have another 3 very good bowlers. So you basically have to go with them. England have got 7 bowlers in the top 40 in the world. Come on. They can just rotate however they want. They have several batsmen in their lineup. Okay, it's a relatively new lineup, but in Joe Root and Ben Stokes, they've got 2 of the best batsmen in the world. We can't, on paper, we shouldn't be able to compete with that.
Yeah.
And I also think that we have to remember that these tests are being played 3 days apart. No, that's not something that's normal. That's really tough on people's bodies. So, I think, it's a tough one. Dulwich is struggling, should come up closer to cut off the swing. He's too far. But I think he did have a rough day. But listen, the ball was doing a lot. I could just say hard luck, to be honest.
People were saying, did you hear Michael Atherton today? Big up Michael Atherton.
I tweeted it.
He was saying,
we actually tweeted it at the same time. We actually tweeted at the same time.
And and he wasn't the only one. I had other people saying to me today, I'm surprised Shane Dowrich is playing. And I was like, wait, what? I've forgotten what this guy's been doing over the last 2 years.
Somebody's asking thoughts on Atherton advocating hope to keep instead of Dulwich. But I was shocked at that. I don't understand. The guy's been our best. One of our best batsmen for the last 2 years. Shane Thomas, does the selection show that Holder and Simmons don't have much faith in their backup players at this level? Well, the backup players have played 1 or 0 test matches. So
yeah, that's the thing.
If it wasn't 1-1 and we were 2-0 down, I think they would be playing.
Me too. I think so too.
I think it's also about the nature of where we're at in the. It's also why England are playing Ben Stokes as a batsman and not resting him. But it's 1-1, so you have. I understand why they've gone with what on paper are their gun players over backup players.
I thought that was really interesting though, because remember England have another series against Pakistan coming, so that means they're really putting it on the line to win this series, because playing Ben Stokes is a big risk with an injury like that. I thought they would have rested him if anything, but
it's a good point.
Are you worried with Dulwich keeping? No. Are any of you guys worried?
No.
Is it fair to say West Indies came with a mindset of joining this test? No, of course not.
Well, I think any professional team isn't going to come in with that.
I came with the mindset. I did.
Yeah, but Mash is a notorious leader of the pessimism gang, so we'd expect that.
This England fan's back.
Did Cornwall overuse the arm ball, Karen ball at times? I don't even know. I don't think he got much out of the surface. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I just thought it's a day one
He was
pitch.
flat. He was just flat.
Yeah, day one pitch, and also as Santoki says, this is his first test in England.
In England, yeah.
Can we cut the guy a tiny bit of slack?
Yeah, one day, you know.
The guy's played only three test matches. So
Yeah. Nikhil, quick question. If a West Indies supporter told you that they hoped Archer done really well in this test and took as many wickets as possible, would you say
I hear that all the time, and I get very upset. People in Barbados always say that, and they hope he gets 8 wickets and all that, and I get upset. I'm like, guys, the guy's playing for England. I don't understand that.
Yo, Kartikeya, you're officially an England fan. That's for you.
And don't even listen. I've interviewed Joffrey. I've met him. I've talked to him and stuff. So I have nothing against him. But at the end of the day, he has on 3 lions on his crest and not a palm tree and a beach. So I can't.
I hope you're listening, Kartikeya. I hope you're listening.
So I literally just cannot support him. Hope is the prince that was promised. Well, he better score some runs.
Yeah.
Because appears a lot of loyalty to certain players. Gabriel should have been told you were resting regardless of how he felt. Can you expand on the comment yesterday on Hope having too close of a relationship? I think that's played a big part. Jason and Shea are very close. I think even if they would have said, if the coaching staff may have said, let's drop him, I could see Jason or somebody from the senior playing team vouch for Shea. I don't know. What do you guys think?
So on Instagram yesterday, it was quite interesting. I hate being one of those guys like, on social media. But on Instagram yesterday, it was interesting to see all the players were tweeting support for Shea.
And John Campbell as well.
Yeah, and I thought that was quite significant because I read between the lines and I thought that was a bit of siege mentality, as if to say, now you know what, now we're behind all of these players. We see you lot getting stick from everyone. We're behind you as a unit, which is fair enough. The selection, the 3 people who actually picked the starting 11 for West Indies is Jason Holder, Phil Simmons, and Roger Harper. I think Jason has, if there's one thing that's been consistent with Jason since being captain, he is loyal to a core unit of players and he will back them no matter what. Now, at the same time, no captain's going to come out in a press conference and go, yeah, actually he's shit, we need to drop him. So.
Well, Joe Root did do that. Well, he didn't say those words, but he said Joe Denny will not play the next test. He literally just said that in the press conference leading up to the second test. So,
I mean, I just like to say, I think ultimately they've been given the backing, but I think deep down, if they were to bat and fail and rain doesn't get in the way, if we then play South Africa in September, October, whenever that series is due to take place, if it takes place, I wouldn't be surprised to not see him there.
I've always wondered actually, with the team obviously being so Bayesian dominated, because obviously outside of the region, there's this idea that every island is the same pretty much culturally, whereas there's a lot of differences. How it would feel for non-Bayesian players at the moment coming into the team if they find it culturally hard to kind of get into the team, knowing that there is a core group of players who are obviously friends and from the same island, which would be quite an interesting thing.
Yeah, guys, we've got a lot of comments, so let's get through them quick because I have to run soon. But let's get through these quickly. Are you still there?
Yeah. I'm reading them for comment. Yeah, let's run through the comments and then wrap this one up and come back tomorrow.
Why can't Gabriel field? What decade does he live in? That kind of attitude is not suitable for. I think he's just tired, so it's hard for him to run behind balls and stuff.
Yeah, his legs hurt.
Joseph's injured though. Well,
apparently not. Apparently he's actually fit, but they just chose to drop him.
He wouldn't be a 12 or 13 man if he was injured. That's for sure. Chase spun it from the moisture of the wicket and up and down bounce comes into play on the last day. Well, Chase spun it on the first day of the second test. So based on that, I mean, I can't fault the West Indies for thinking it may have spun today again. If I'm not mistaken, India bowled first with 4 spinners once.
Was that at home though?
Yeah, probably. That has been West Indies' biggest threat. Otherwise, I have no issue with bowling first. He probably means the batting.
Yeah.
If Hope gets a 50 this game, would you pick him for the next series? Very interesting question.
If it was 50 only, do you know what? This is like that game Outrun, where if you reach the extension point, you get another 20 seconds till the next extension point. So when Josh Butler got his 50 today, I was like, right, that's it. England won't drop him now. Every time you get a 50, you get time extension. So I wouldn't pick him, but he would earn his time extension if he got a 50.
I think he would get the series if it just takes one score. I think for him because the West Indies already are rooting for him. They already want to see him play. So I think it's just gonna take one score for them to be like, look, he's justified this slot. But let's wait and see. The batting is so weak. It doesn't matter whether they bat or bowl first. All right, the pessimists have entered the chat. So just
listen. I don't know that person.
a moment to think. Until Holder shows confidence in the West Indies batting lineup, West Indies batting will never deliver consistently. And they say that you have to put the players in a tough position to actually improve. So, but everything's on the line for this test. So to put the guys in the firing line like that, I don't know. What do you guys think?
No, I agree.
Shamar Brooks is the real deal for me. Massively impressed.
Yeah.
A moment to think is back. Resource gaps didn't affect the 80s great team. What happened? Attitude.
We had better players.
No, but also don't forget, in those days the salaries weren't massively high for any team in the world.
Yeah,
cricket
true.
wasn't at the professional level, so there wasn't such a great gap. Like you weren't at the moment, an England player gets like 1.2 million a year contract. That wasn't the case in the 80s.
Yeah,
Stop hyping Joe Root. At this rate, Rohit will average more after India's next Australia tour. Listen, Joe Root's class.
Joe Root's better than every single batsman we've got. So
Joe Root is in the top 5 or top 10 test batsman in the world. So obviously.
Hold on, Nikhil. There's a funny comment from at the bottom. 718 from Lee Schneider.
Nice. Matt should be showing his age with the outrun wrestling.
What have you done to Lee, Nash?
I don't even know what that means in terms of my age and what you think it must be, but she's right. If you know that game outrun, you've got to be old.
All right, just give one a yes or no answer. I'll say yes because I'm happy with what I see in improvements wise, and it'll take time, but I think we can get there. What do you guys think?
No.
What?
I think the fact they say, listen,
y'all are sad.
Very sad. He's so sad.
Before Nikhil goes off on one, I'm going to say the question is: can the West Indies become a great Test team again? That word again means one of the greatest sides in cricket in history. I don't think.
No. It doesn't have to be in history.
I'm saying no as well.
It doesn't have to be in history. I'm talking about as in just being able to compete with Australia, India, England, etc.
Oh no.
Yeah.
What?
Yes, Marcel, are you mad?
No, great to me means that we can play against like the middle ranking teams and beat them. Then I'm saying yes. If you mean we can play India and Australia and beat them,
that's what great is.
No,
great is the best.
No, never.
We can. But I understand where you're coming from because of the resources. We'll never have as many resources as those countries. But I still believe in these guys. We've got talent and hard work and positivity. How do I regain your loyalty?
You're done out here, man.
This one,
all right.
This one we can look on a
let's go. Yeah, we'll do. Yeah. So with CPL, we haven't decided yet how that's going to work. Nikhil's going to be in Trinidad, it looks like, with the losers Barbados Trident. So we haven't decided.
Should I bring the picture and show you? We are the defending champions. So 30 people are in here. Thanks for joining me today, guys.
And then we'll chip back in tomorrow with some more content.
All right, let's wrap this up. All right, the questions are closed off because we have a lot more. Not a lot, but a good set. Is Holder's growth as captain hampered by limited criticism of his tactics? Always says he's a great leader.
No, I don't think it. I don't think the criticism is that much though to affect him.
Listen, he's been captain for 5 years. I think if the criticism was going to get to him, he wouldn't want to be captain anymore.
Yeah.
Very interesting comments on loyalty. If West Indies want to reach the top level, that needs to stop. Anyone know what the real weather report is? There needs to be 3 full days of rain for us to retain us. A moment to think. Us? You're not us.
Yes, I think a moment to think. No, I think a moment to I think a moment. Do you live here? A moment to think. But anyways, the rain. It's scheduled to be on and off tomorrow.
Yeah.
Basically, tomorrow should be a washout, in essence. But we don't know about Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday yet. It's also saying rain, but until the day, we don't know.
Do you think Gabriel should have played? He wasn't our we already know that. We already all said no, so just it doesn't even make sense. Thoughts on switching Brooks and Hope in the batting order? I actually tweeted this today. That Hope
Do you remember, Nikhil, before the series, what we both said?
And Ian Bishops came on and said it today, and everybody will be like, "Oh yes, that's so brilliant and stuff," which it is. But we've said it since before the series started. Last game, we saw Stokes run to the boundary line and field off his own bowling. 2 balls later, he bounced out Blackwood. We don't see that from our team often. Any reason?
Wait, a moment to think's a bigger pessimist than me.
Obviously.
No, but I actually think Blackwood is one of our best fielders. By the way, I think he runs down.
He's fast.
Me too. It is supposed to rain for the next 4 days. Series isn't lost yet. It's okay, Mash. By getting that run reference, I dated myself as well. Last two. Final 2 comments. Should Holder have got Chase on earlier, considering Burns was starting to look good, and also because Cornwall was extracting something in that first day?
Yeah, possibly actually.
Yeah, I was waiting for Chase to bowl, but I think honestly something's wrong with Chase today. He went off the field. He didn't let himself.
Yeah,
he was like hunching over. Either he's tired or he could be feeling a bit ill. I'm not sure.
He did make a good attempt. I don't know if you saw when Ollie Pope scuffed it in the air and he went for the attempt.
Yeah. I saw it. Final question for today or comment. West Indies could try and be a bit more like New Zealand. They also have very little resources, but they always punch above their weight. And I think we're slowly becoming that, I think.
Yeah, that's what we should be aiming. That's where we should aim to be, where we can always punch above our weight. It doesn't mean we'll be great, but we're always punching above our weight. That should be our aim, 100%.
Well, thanks a lot.
Hopefully, if there's no play tomorrow, obviously we won't be back on air, but hopefully back Sunday, I guess. Nikhil, Mash, pleasure as always, and enjoy your evening, guys. Enjoy everyone out there. Take care of yourself. Peace.
Cool.